Okay folks, now that I have just claybarred the car, I am touching up the stone chips. So I have bought some color matched paint, and it comes in this Lyndar base coat color can, and I have sprayed it into the cap, and I have this little brush with me, and that's what I'm using to touch up all the little spots. Any higher spots will actually be sanded out once it's properly dried. Just thought I'd share this one with you as well. I will also share with you how you can get your car's actual color code soon enough, just after I'm finished with this one. I'll be back with you guys shortly. Folks, so now I have touched up the stone chips with base coat. I dabbed it on with a brush in dots, and then I've put clear coat on. I've let it dry for one day, and the following day I have wet sanded it with 1500 grit sandpaper, and then followed by 2000 grit sandpaper. And what this does is it smoothens it out. So I left, let's say this big an area was the chip repair, had sanded it this much, so that means this level will be equal to this, and therefore you won't see it come out like you see on the base. If you leave it and you just do it in this area, when you polish it, the polisher is going to catch it and it's going to look quite ugly. I'm kind of restoring the paintwork on my 2012 Toyota Camry, which I've picked up on an auction. Now I have already done all the paint preparation, which you can take a look at my other videos for. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to compound the paint work, and I'm going to use the Roops 4-stage paint kit. So this is the most cost of all. It helps eliminate 1500 grit scratches, and this is 2500 grit scratches. This is like a medium compound and the more shinier type of compound. And I'm going to use a DAS6 Pro dual action polisher for this one. And I can put a link in the description as to where you can get this. You can also use the Roops LHR21, and I'll put a link to that as well. So I'm going to start in a while and I'll get back to you. Okay folks, now I have got the coarse compound on the coarse pad, and I've put approximately 4 to 5 small pea-sized drops. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to dab it on the paintwork like this, and this should cover about 1/3 of the bonnet. Okay, on your first application you may need to put a bit more because the pad has not been seasoned yet. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try and dab it a bit more, and then I'm going to put it on to speed 1 just to start off with. This is a 6-speed motor. And then I'm going to put it down first and then turn it on. Now the one thing you want to do is you want to go in a 50-50 pattern, like a snake, like so. you start to see it dry up, that's when you know you've got to stop buffing it around. And now we're going to leave it to dry for approximately 2 to 3 minutes, and then we're going to buff it out. Yep. Okay folks, now I've spread it on the bonnet using speed number 1. I'm going to put it up to speed number 2.5, 3, and then I'm going to turn it on and I'm going to go in a snake pattern. Okay, now we'll do the same thing and just leave it to dry to a nice haze. Okay folks, after the first and the second pass, the first pass was just a very light coat, second pass was a more thicker coat. You can slightly see that there is a bit of difference. Yes, there are scratches there, but the paintwork on this car is quite bad. I can definitely see an improvement, but for things like this particular one here, I'm just going to use some Meguiar's Ultimate Compound because that stuff is more for compounding older paints, and this car is a 2012, but because of its abrasions here, I'll do that, and then I'll do the rest of it with the Roops or repairs, and you can see the difference between there and this side. Okay, we'll be back with you shortly. Okay folks, so now I've gone over twice with the Roops coarse compound. For the small abrasions where I'd done the wet sanding, I had to use some Meguiar's Ultimate Compound and Scratch X, and you can see there is quite a bit of a difference here. I'm just going to head over the other side to the bonnet, and you can see the difference here. So this side has been done, this side has not been done. Okay folks, so now I have done the 4-stage compounding, and that was the last stage. For the coarse compound, I would recommend using about speed 4, and depending about how bad the condition of your paint is, you may need to use 5. The finer you go, the less number of speed you have to use in terms of revolutions per minute. So when you go towards a finer one, you can use about 3, but just now I was just using 6 because it's also quite warm and I wanted to quickly spread it on, and then I can buff it off. Okay folks, so now another way you can tell that the wax is ready to be buffed off is you can just put your finger and draw. If it's clear, then the wax is dry enough for you to buff it out. So I'm just going to take my microfiber cloth and you got to rip out any tags that you have. Then you want to buff in circular motions, so, and then you'll see the gloss from the final gloss finish Roops product. Some people actually call it Roopass. Now the one thing I did find is that the cost 1500 did say that it takes off the 1500 scratches, but not in this case, probably because I was not using the Roops machine. I'm using the DAS6 Pro machine. The Roops machines are usually the LHR 15s and LHR 21s, which probably would have done a better job, but I try out different products, so it would be quite unfair to just try a Roops dual action with another product. So all the products that I'm going to test will be done with the same polisher. And when you buff it off, you may need a bit of elbow grease, but it's easy enough to come out. Well, you can see the car starting to shake a bit as I buff it out. You never want to keep any excess of the product on the paint, because when it comes to car washing time, that's when you're going to see terrible results. If you keep any product on, it's going to smear, and that smear is going to be hard to remove. Now you can see there's a little bit of scratches here, but compared to what it was earlier, it was horrible to start off with, but it has improved over time. I've got to be fair that the paintwork wasn't the best. I would have rated the paintwork to be around 3 out of 10, because it is filled with swirls, scratches, marks, stone chips, which I had filled with paint, sanded, and then polished and compound down. And you just want to fold it onto a clean side so that it can go in circular motions. Okay. It may pay to take the car out in the sun so that you can see if you have left any products. The other thing you can do is you can use a LED torchlight. It's one of these, and you can see it's quite bright, and then you'll be able to see there's quite a difference from how it started off. If your paintwork is, let's say, 6 out of 10 in condition, then you'll definitely be surprised. That'll be a good surprise. Okay. So what I did also was I put about 3 coats of the coarse compound, which is the 1500 grit scratch remover compound, and then I did about 2.5 rounds of the 2500 coarse and 2 coats of the medium compound and 2 coats of the fine compound. Then here we are with the results, folks. If you would like to see any more useful car videos, I have made some other car videos based on this car. I'm restoring the paintwork, so feel free to check them out. They are really useful, and I'll try and put them in parts so that it can be in a playlist. Thanks, folks. Have a great day. Bye.
Awesome.
Okay folks, so we are now back with the final results. As you can see, there's quite a transformation from what it used to be. The car originally had a lot of abrasion on it. It was quite weathered. It had petrol mark fingerprints on it, as well as different sorts of scratches, deep scratches, light scratches, and any sort of scratches that any mankind person could think of. So polishing it with the 4-stage and using the Maguire's Ultimate Compound has come out quite nicely. So for this particular car, I did the paint preparation first by degreasing the car with dishwashing liquid, then doing the paint correction by wet sanding and removing any scratches and abrasions, and then doing the paint touch-up, followed by the Maguire's Ultimate Compound and Scratch X scratch removal, which came out quite nicely. And then to top it off, I had done the 4-stage polishing using the Roop's Roop's 4-stage polishing compound. Now it has come out quite nice, but those little specks that you see, that's just dust because the car has been sitting out there. But you can definitely see there is a huge transformation from what it used to be. And this is something that you guys can do as well. All you need is the time and the patience, and I will include the items that I used in the link as well, so that you can go and purchase this yourself. And I hope you can get a great result that I have. Thank you folks. Please like, comment and subscribe, and have a great day. Cheers. Bye.